The hardest part for flipping houses for a beginner, or for anyone for that matter, is to find a deal, a good deal, a deal that makes money, the right price, the right amount of construction. It's always been hard. It's even harder now because it feels like everyone is flipping houses nowadays. You turn around, someone you know is flipping it. Just look at those highlights. House flipping hits decade high. US house flipping rate increases to 14-year high, and there are less than 60,000 single-family houses and condominiums in the United States were flipped in the first quarter. The number represents 7.5% of all home sales in the nation, to the highest level since the second quarter of 2006. And if you look further, the reports also say house flipping profits reach 20-year high. House flipping profit at the highest in 20 years, but fewer are doing it. It says there are less people doing it. If you look deeper, there are less people doing it actually caused by low inventory.
The drop likely due to the severe shortage of homes for sale, especially on the lower end of the market where flippers like to play.
All those data translate to the fact that there are more people are flipping houses and getting high profit, but less homeowners are willing to sell their homes, especially not willing to sell in discount. So that makes finding a good deal is much harder than it used to be. But people are doing it. There are less than 8% all homes sold are flipped, meaning there are deals out there. Even in very competitive market, you can find a deal. You just have to work harder and smarter. So let's talk about how many ways we can find the deals. There are so many ways. Direct mail, door knocking, band-aid signs, auction, social media ads, networking, MLS, Zillow. You can dedicate all your time, energy, and marketing budget into just one or two ways, which I prefer. But there are people say that using multiple marketing campaigns simultaneously works better to get a deal. Whichever way you want to do, whichever way that's right for you, that depends if you have the time and money for the campaign you want to pursue. So let's go over some of those strategies. Direct mail. Yes, direct mail. It still works. I got my first deal from a wholesaler. They do direct mail only. They spend over $1,000 per month, send out massive mailing, door-to-door direct mail, and one neighborhood each month. They always get deals. If this is what you want to do, you just have to set up a system and budget and be consistent. Door knocking. If you like to meet people, like to talk, door knocking is not a bad idea. You can find foreclosure lists and knock on those doors. I'll show you how to find those information at the end of the video. But this requires follow-up and also the skill and knowledge of negotiate with the bank. But you can team up with foreclosure attorney. They can help you to negotiate with the bank for the price you want. Band-aid signs, you probably have seen those. We buy houses for cash. You can put up signs to get a deal directly from homeowners, or you can call the number on those signs to get a deal from them. It works both ways. But sometimes they're not selling your houses. I tell you a true story. One time I called this guy that I always see his sign on utility poles. I call him, just want to see if he's interested to buy one of the house that I have access to. He goes, okay, send me some information. I'll do some calm and get back to you. I'm like, that sounds good. Okay. Then he goes, let me ask you a question. Do you want to take your business to the next level? I'm like, what? Then he goes again, do you want to take your business to the next level? Who wouldn't? There's no answer for this question. So I go, yeah. Then he goes, okay, I have a free training for how to flip houses for people just like you. You can get a 10 times more leads, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So he's selling his training program, not buying any houses, not interested to buying any houses. The worst part of this is, I told him I joined Fortune Builder and spent $50,000 for that training. I'm not looking for any training, probably for the rest of my life. Then he goes, Fortune Builder, that's a fraud. They trick you into the program and won't teach you any real stuff. Trashing other people's business doesn't make your business look any better. Besides, they use legit media to recruit their student. Radio ads, infomercial, and you use paper Band-Aid sign on utility pole. Then you accuse them of fraud. I thought that's not smart sales pitch. So anyway, anything could happen when you call them. But most people are legit. You can get deal from them. Another way to get deal is go to auction. You can potentially get a very good deal in auction, but you need to be careful. You need to do your due diligence for the property that you're interested before you go to court. Go to see the property in person. Ask the neighbor what's going on with the house of the owner, if there are any tenants still there, and go online to see if there any lien or violation on the house. I bought a house from court last year, and it was a very good deal. And the previous owner was going to move, but COVID hit, and all the eviction was suspended in New York. So they take advantage of it, and then they're not moving anywhere. It's been 12 months. Literally, for this month, it's been 12 months already. I would feel lucky if we could start eviction process by the end of this year and evict them next year. What are you gonna do? There's always risk in any business. Social media and networking are the same thing. One is socializing in digital world, one is in person. There are people making money just by using social media. If you're good at socializing or networking, just go for it. I'm not good at it, so I'm gonna move on to MLS and Zillow. MLS and Zillow, you can find deals on both websites. You just have to constantly check on them. I check on MLS and Zillow a few times a day, every day. Like I mentioned from other video, you just have to decide what type of houses and in what neighborhood you want to invest, and constantly checking on Zillow and MLS for that price range in that neighborhood. I found the deals on both websites, MLS and Zillow. Once you find a property, how do you know if it's a good deal and what price you should to offer? I'll show you how do I look for comps. First, I'll go to Zillow. Let's pick a neighborhood. Let's see flatland. It's okay if you want to target more than one neighborhoods, but it's better to search one at a time. Because if you look all over the map, there are just too many properties on every neighborhood. So if you just concentrate on one neighborhood at a time and select the price range, you can narrow down the search and really look into each one of them. For example, if you want to make offer on this one, then you go to recent sold, look for comps. But you need to adjust the price to the retail price. If you don't know the retail price, you can just go with any price. Then you enlarge the map. If the house you're interested in this area, you can click each one of them. First, you need to look at the square footage. It needs to be similar with the one you're interested. You gotta compare apple to apple. Then you need to look at the price they sold, the date they sold. The more recent, the more relevant. And the finishing, the interior, if it's brand new or well kept or old. When you do comparable, if you underestimate your resale value, they call after repair value, ARV, then you get very low offer, then you're not gonna get a house. But if you overestimate your resale value, ARV, you give a higher offer, you probably get the house, but you probably not be able to get a decent profit. If something goes wrong with construction, which is more likely than not, you may lose money. So it's better to compare as many recent sold as possible to determine what right price to offer. Another website I use is Property Shark. It helps you to verify information like square footage, the lot size, the building, zoning, basement type, above grade or below grade. If above grade, the square footage includes basement. If below grade, the square footage isn't. Another important information you can look up from Property Shark is foreclosures. They have auction information, the schedule, the attorney's information. If you click it, then you go to document. You can see how much lien on the house and how many times they've been scheduled for auction. They have a pre-foreclosure list. You can choose your neighborhood and export the list. This is how you can get a foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, auction information all in this website. It's a very valuable information if you do direct mail or door knocking. You don't have to waste time to mail to everyone. You can just mail to those pre-foreclosured. So it's very specific and effective. They are more likely to sell in discount than regular homeowners. There are so many ways to look for comps. I just use Zillow and MLS and Property Shark. It works for me. So in the next video, I'll talk about how to build a team. So I'll see you next video.